And today we are talking about the original I Know What You Did Last Summer so we can get ahead of the new remake that's coming out this week. I'm here with my host, Flynet J. How you feeling?
Always, man. I'm excited to talk about this. Obviously, when I saw that trailer, I wasn't excited, but I was like, man, let's go back and see what the original was talking about. It's been a long time since we've seen it. And I had a lot of fun watching this original. I will say that.
You said you did?
Yeah, I did.
I did too. I thought this is actually written okay. It's not the greatest, but I think it's okay because I forgot about all the little tiny story elements in there about the actual villain of the movie.
You want to know why it's written okay?
Why?
Because it actually has the same screenwriter from Scream, 1996. So
Oh,
when
okay.
Scream was a success in '96, they tried to capitalize on that. They brought the same writer over, and you kind of see some of those elements in here.
I did not
I
know
know what you
that.
did last summer. Yeah.
Okay, did your research.
You gotta
Okay.
do your research. Hey man, this is our job. If you go
Well,
movie
well,
review, you
well,
gotta
well,
research.
you are the designated researcher. I don't get paid for research. That's your job.
There
But
you go.
so just to give you a quick synopsis, this movie starts off with four kids. I believe they're freshmen in college, Darian,
They're
and
going to college.
they're going. It's a summer of going to college.
Yeah.
So they're drinking, they're having fun. They go to the beach, and then after they get to the beach, driving back home, they run over somebody in the road. And of course, they panic, like as anyone would. There's a lot of panic. There's cars driving by, cars even stop, of course, and they end up dumping this guy in the water. And before they dump him, this is what got me. Before they dump him, the guy reaches a hand up. They could have saved him right there and took him to the hospital. And then Ryan Phillippe, who is Sarah Michelle Gellar's boyfriend, Sarah Michelle Gellar is like the popular cheerleader, hot girl, and Barry, who Ryan Phillippe plays, is just her, mostly brawn boyfriend. But he's not dumb; it's mostly brawn. Barry
Yeah.
just kicks him in the water, like, "Oh no, we're done." That scene had me dying. I was like, "Wait, I forgot that they found out he was alive." I had in my mind that they thought he was dead from the get go.
Well, I'll be honest with you. He should have been dead because that accident scene, I, man, I haven't laughed that hard. Like when they hit him. I mean, if you haven't seen that scene, man, go watch it back. They hit him hard because he goes flying over the car.
Yeah,
And then when they find him, his boots are about a mile away from where his body actually is. So, in all accounts, he should be dead if this was any kind of realistic.
yeah. But you gotta also realize his boots are big; they don't fit him.
Apparently, they protected him and took the brunt of the hit.
But as the story goes on, after that's over, then we have the next year. They're all acclimated in college. I believe Julie, who was played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, broke up with her boyfriend, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character, and Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character don't want to do nothing in life except for be dirty and fish. He's like now I take this at first, like I said, I didn't remember the movie. I'll take it because everybody seems to, which I really liked about this movie, everybody seems to be depressed about what happened that last summer, because they just killed somebody. So I do like the elements of Freddie Prinze Jr. It's like, oh, I got to be a dirty fisherman forever because I'm so sad about what happened. Julie's not doing the greatest in college. Sarah Michelle Gellar's characters, all of them are not doing the greatest mentally. And then they start getting these notes just saying, I know what you did last summer, in perfect handwriting. Perfect.
Yeah,
I was impressed with that. So he put some time into this and he found everybody's address wherever they were. So when they all start getting these letters, they all meet up again to discuss, like, hey, did you tell what happened? And they have to go through this story and discover who is the one writing the notes. And I thought that was the best part of the movie, when they're actually going through and they find out, they don't find out who the killer is, but they think they know who the killer is, and they're going to the person's house to find his sister, and they're talking to him about the family. And it's another mystery because they find out that maybe one of the guy's friends had did it. You know what I mean? When they go to the sister's house.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes a little investigation. So I do like that. I think you brought up a good point of them all. This accident actually affects them. They don't just rub it off like, oh, we killed somebody. But life goes on like most shows and movies do.
Mm-hmm.
Even in that show we watched that was a remake of this, which was horrific. They just moved on like they didn't kill anybody.
Yeah.
So that part I think they do well in here. And I like that too because what's her name? not Julie, Helen, she was a model. She was going to New York, all that. She's back at home. It was like, how did it go? Oh, it didn't work out. Played by Michelle Gellar. So obviously, all of them are affected. I do love that. And then it just becomes a little mystery novel. They start getting these notes, like you said, in perfect handwriting. And then from there, it's like, wait, we got to figure this out because this person also has a chance to put us all in jail, ruin our lives because we didn't do what we were supposed to do a year ago. So I did like that a lot.
Yeah, and it's like the mystery gets deeper because they said, oh, maybe it's a guy that stopped. Then they find the guy that stopped dead. Then they think, oh, maybe it's this guy that, because you think it's the son. They think it's like it was a teenager that was like their age at the time. They said they went to go visit his sister, and they're like, oh, what's going on? And they found out that maybe that guy had committed suicide or something, and they think it's over. It ain't over. Because then this killer is killing people in broad daylight, stuffing them in trunks, and he's using a hook to do it. And as a mystery unfolds, they even at one point they think that Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character did it because his boat is like the same name as the name of the killer.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was cool too, because I'm like, after they investigate all this, like, oh wow, this is right here. Like he had to do it. Which is strange. It's strange for all of them to think that, I think, but especially the girlfriend, because why would he be the one to then kill everybody? Did he just go crazy after a whole summer?
Yeah, it didn't really make sense. One thing I do like about this, and you can kind of tell a little bit, this is actually a YA novel. This is what it's based on, and it has some YA novel acting, especially Freddie Prinze Jr., who can't act his way out of a paper bag in this movie. I don't know if you had that reaction. I'm like, man, like Ryan Felipe, he's really good in this. He's bringing the energy. He feels authentic. The other two girls, they felt decent. They're not bad. Freddie Prinze Jr. is pretty bad in here, I will say. But the thing I do like about this is, and what makes this movie fun, is this killer that they're chasing around, man, he's petty. First of all, this character you didn't talk about, Max. They do Max so wrong in this movie. Now, Max, he's a character who he has a crush. He has a crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt's character. So he has a crush on her.
About him.
Yeah, he has a crush on her, and basically it's just one of those where it's like, hey, I've liked this girl forever, and she's never going to give me a shot. Other than that, he does nothing wrong. But when this killer goes to, when he has to get his branding, Max has to take the brunt of that. He's the first murderer in this movie. That man's just at work, working hard, I might add. He's at work working hard. He didn't bother nobody. This movie does him completely wrong.
Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary. And also when the police are trying, remember the scene where the police are trying to bring Julie home, and then the killer kills the officer. I'm like, wait a minute, you could have waited. You could have waited 10 minutes to just get her. What'd you kill the officer for?
No, he deserved it. But I do like, and I don't know what kind of creative direction they take, because this is really different from Scream. This killer is petty. Like, he is petty to the point where he's not even killing people. He's chasing them down with their car. He's still in their cars, chasing them down with it. He knows if they got a big event tomorrow, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna mess up your hair to the point where you can't fix it. Then you have something important the next day. I'm gonna write to your house and drive you crazy. And Ray, he ain't got much going on anyway, so I just ain't gonna bother him. But everybody else, I am being absolutely petty, and he's just having fun before he kills them. And that's kind of the most fun part of the movie for me, is watching him torment them.
Yeah, like when he goes into Sarah Michelle Gellar's house and just, instead of killing her, just starts cutting off her hair. I'm like, wait a minute, sir. Hold on. What you got going on?
She didn't wake up. Somebody, like, she wakes up and she's like, like, her hair is jacked up. So how she slept through that it's its own plot hole, but it is hilarious.
Yeah. And it's like, once all this happens, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character and Barry's character, which, by the way, I thought their chemistry is always good. Ryan Felipe's and Sarah Michelle Gellar's chemistry. Yeah. For me, I would have loved for them to be the stars of the movie, just to do a switch. Because those characters, the stuff they did for the most part, to me, made sense. Like, Ryan's character was like, hey, I'm ready to beat ass. When I see him, I'm on him. I got him. It didn't work, but at least he was like, hey, I got him. I'm going to protect you, blah, blah, blah. And it makes sense because they couldn't go to the police about it. Cool. All that stuff makes sense, and that's fine. When they're gone, and they finally discover that this killer was not a teenager. This killer was a father of somebody who what Darren, give me the rundown. I forgot again. Like he's a father of a kid that oh no, excuse me, he was a father of this girl, and the girl die in a car accident.
Yeah, the girl died in a car accident, and I believe the boyfriend blamed himself for it.
Yeah.
And then the guy, the dad, the killer, actually killed the boyfriend, and that's
Yeah.
what kind of leads off
And
into the
that's
movie.
where he was. He was
Yeah,
dumping
so
the
then he's
boyfriend.
leaving, and that's by accident. When they try to investigate it down, they found out that's who they ran over, and it's
Yeah.
kind of these series of events. They way overcomplicated that a lot. You know,
Yeah.
it felt better. Yeah, guys just walking, they hit him, give him because honestly, they don't deserve to be tormented and murdered in this way, but they do deserve to face some consequences.
Yeah.
For what they did early in the movie, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how it sets up. So,
And I can understand that it doesn't really give you that much empathy towards the killer, but at least you know, hey, this guy killed my daughter. That's why I did this. But my thing, I'm like, well, after you get hit by the car and you're fully recovered, you should take that one on the chin. Just take that one on the chin. Like, is your mission's accomplished? Okay, they hit me because he got hit by the car. Like as you say, flew around, and he's in the water. He's in the water for God knows how long. How he recovered on his own, I don't know. Maybe it was that old man, toxic masculinity strength he got. But you should take that on the chin and go home, take a nap, go back to your boat and relax. He said, "No, now I got to get them too." Even though they had no idea what I was doing, I got away with murder scot-free. He's like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm going in." It's like just everybody got to go. Like, well, no. I guess he got unhinged at that point. But
yeah.
I did like the mystery part, finding out who he was and why he did what he did. I like that part of the movie a lot.
Yeah, I will say looking back, and obviously we were kids when this came out, and I remember vaguely watching this. So this is the first time I fully watched this movie in a long time. I will say I can see why this was so successful because in a time, especially this year, with a lot of horror comedies coming out. I mean, this is more of a comedy horror. I mean, there is some scenes in this movie that don't make a lick of sense. Starting with Sarah Michelle Gellar, Helen's sister, and her in the store, where she's running from him, and she's going to her sister who hates her for some odd reason. They just beat the entire movie. She goes into the store, and the killer goes after her sister, and then he starts playing tricks on her, which don't even make any sense. He's hiding under some plastic, and that's a better setup scene. I like that. But he's also able to play with music and the lights, and I'm like, how's he doing all this while also wrapped in plastic?
He is an engineer.
It's impossible, but it's funny, and I think the comedy element makes this movie a lot of fun, and I think that's why it was so successful. And unfortunately, it spawned a sequel that should have never existed. But looking at these scenes, he's playing tricks with them. Like I said, there's a scene where he puts a body and some crabs in the trunk of Julie's car. How he gets that out, who knows how he's able to pull that off. But he's he's pulling out magic tricks and everything, all the stuff.
Yeah, because he pulled that guy out of the car like within minutes. As soon as Julie went to go run and tell him about it, he's like, "Oh, I got him out of there."
Broad daylight in the middle of a road that has traffic going through it. Like we just saw Julie get out the car, and a car passes by as soon as she's done. So this is clearly a busy road.
Yeah, this guy is stealthy, and I like that too. Like he's stealthy as hell. As far as endings go, I felt like the ending scene fighting him was cool because then you get like Freddie Prinze Jr. coming back because he was knocked out, coming back. He's like, okay, I am now going to be this stalwart hero and save Julie, and they end up being the last two people alive and reconciling and all this kind of stuff. And overall, I'd give the movie that first one. I think that's a price of admission for me because I didn't have any moments in this movie where I was like, hey, I'm bored, or hey, this is really, even the silly parts, I didn't just jump up and say that's incredibly stupid. Even for 1997, those slasher films, especially the slasher films that don't have high school kids, because I hate high school slasher films. They never know what to do. I like the adult ones where they have the means to go places. Like they have the means to drive places. They have the mental capacity to investigate themselves. They can't go to the police, and they're not just wandering around like chickens with the heads cut off, like the high school movie. So I thought that's a perfect age to have this happen. Going into college, I liked how it showed that they were going through something mentally the whole movie. Because we don't see that a lot. A lot of times we'll see, yes, all you see is fear. And every most slasher films, you just see the one emotion, which is fear. You don't see they displayed every emotion throughout this movie in there because of something they thought they did. So there was a kind of accountability in their heads, like, oh, we did this, so we have to live with this, and we're having trouble living with this. So I really actually enjoyed it. That, to your point, number 2 and 3, who boy, I don't even know how they got made. I mean, I know how 2 got made, all the success of the first one, but I don't know I don't know what they were thinking in 2,
really
and then you didn't even see 3, did you?
It's not even the same studio. This doesn't. It's just people ripping off a name. But to your point, I agree with you a lot. I mean, the ending for me more so feels like they ran out of ideas and they just got to have a fight or whatever in a reveal that's very silly. But going through that part, mostly this movie's not that long. It's like an hour 40 minutes. I'd say an hour of 30 minutes of the actual runtime is a lot of fun. I get why it spawned a sequel. I think it's creative. They like you said, it's not very boring. Is it silly? Yeah, it's very silly, but this is one of those where when I talk about horror comedy, it's a perfect blend of horror comedy. And it's funny too. Some of the better jump scares in this have nothing to do with the killer.
Yeah.
They're just walking, a lady comes by, knocks on the window. It's one of those, a cat just jumps out. They don't actually use that. But it's very much those level of tropes that kind of get you like, oh, like I didn't see that coming. And that kind of got me versus the killer who, when he's coming, you always know it. I think there's some of the jumps that are better when he's not around. So I do like that a lot. I think this is a lot of fun for, especially if you've never seen it before. Definitely go back and watch it. Unfortunately, Ryan Felipe is not going to be in the new one. Obviously we get Freddie Prinze Jr. back and we get Jennifer Love Hewitt back. But I thought Ryan Felipe and Sarah Michelle Gellar, I always her name. I thought they were really good in this, and I thought they were fun. Unfortunately, we don't get them back, but yeah, I see why this road the success it did, and obviously, yeah, this is a price mission for me. I think probably a high matinee-ish, maybe full. If I paid full price and I saw this on a Friday night, obviously can't do that because it's 1997. But I think I would have walked out and been like, that was fun. Like I had a good time.
You know what's funny is that when I knew that my theater around the corner, when they have it's just really like small theater and it's like a dual setting or whatnot. When a new horror movie or a new action movie comes out and it's like a series of them, like 2 or 3 more movies, they'll have the original playing for like a week. And I like that a lot because you get to see it in theaters. And we were kids, we weren't allowed to go to theaters and see something like this. So especially the second one. Second one's off the chain. When Mekhi Phifer's in the movie for no reason. He's only in there to bag Brandy every chance he gets. That's it.
Yeah, and I kind of forgot. For some reason, I was thinking Brandy was in the first one, and she's not. I don't know why. I think I just mixed her up with Julie's other friend who's in here. I was like, I swear Brandy was in here, but that second one there. They're more pointless characters. Everybody's pretty much pointless other than Julie and Ray, and they're not as nearly as good in the second one as they are. And I guess Julie's the same, but Ray also mentally declines even more than he does in this movie.
You know what? I don't even like to get into number 2. We might have to do a separate video on number 2 because number 2 itself is I haven't seen it in years, but I remember even as a teenager, I said this is a hard watch.
Yeah,
because
that movie.
Every character, like you said, every character is pointless. Even Mekhi Phifer, who is a main character, is pointless. And the dynamic between Julie and Freddie in that second movie makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Hey, we are at odds again. Why? He just saved you from being killed. Even if you're not together, you shouldn't be like hating him. He saved your life like 18 times, and then you saved his, and y'all went through this harrowing ordeal. You could at least separate amicably. It was like, nah, F him. I'm tired of this. And Freddie's like, oh, I'm depressed. I'm gonna go back to the boat.
But that second was a cash grab. But I like this. This gets me. This new one feels like a complete ripoff, and that's one thing. I don't know if they're gonna up the ante. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I guess I can't judge it before I see it, but it feels the same exact movie, and I don't want the same exact movie. But I could see why they're like, damn, there's so much here that we could basically rinse, repeat in a 2025 audience. Will have fun with this. So price admission for me, that's where I went at it, and I had a really good time again. Really good time watching this.
Yeah, and something in these slasher films from the 90s and 80s that they keep bringing back out. What's funny to me about this is that it seems to me that the ones that, besides Scream, because I think Scream has always been good, except for like number 3. I think it's always been at least average.
Yeah.
Stuff like these bad horror movies, when they keep bringing them out, like when they've had like a mediocre series, like Texas Chainsaw has been overall like mediocre if you put all them together. Scream has been terrible except for the first one. I feel like when they bring them back, they're at least trying to make them better. So I see some kind of effort. Like even when they brought Scream back, I said I saw the effort that they were trying to make in the quality of the writing and whatnot. Even in Texas Chainsaw, no, I didn't. No, let me not lie. But Halloween, there was quality. Friday the 13th, when they remade that, they really tried to give you something. Even the Nightmare on Elm Street, they tried to give us something. So I'm excited to see what they try to give us. That's not just rinse and repeat. Because so far, in all these horror movies series that have come out and they've come back out in 2024 or 25, they give us something different, something that we can say, ooh, we can actually judge this as a movie and not just as milk in the series. So I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm excited to be pleasantly surprised that they're not just milking the series.
Yeah, check the old one. Not a good rating. So for this movie, Rotten Tomatoes about 40%. So people did not. People today don't like this movie. I don't feel like this was that because it did enough to make a sequel. So
yeah,
I guess before people had a much fonder view of it than they do now. But we will see.
Yeah,
but yeah, I liked it.
So we'll see. So we'll be back this weekend, maybe Friday or Saturday, and we'll put up our review of the new one that comes out.
Yeah, I see it today, Wednesday. I see it tomorrow. So this will be
Yeah.
up, and then review of that will be up soon. We'll talk about it.
All right. Anything else you want to add, sir?
Nah, you can close us out.
Yeah, well, as you know, I am Scotty, and this is Fly Nick Johnson. You can follow us on Minor League Films and everything. And on TikTok, we are Kuronocomics, Kurono Comics. And we'll catch y'all next time.
Like the video, all that good stuff.
I said that.